All right, welcome to our second feature match of the week here, week two of our Ravnica Adventures League. Joined here. I'll be joined here for the next two matches tonight by Parker V. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. So we did. The video did miss the opening seven from Chris, which you had to send back due to, I think that was just one land. But now he's got a pretty functional looking hand of white and blue cards and white and blue mana sources. So what's going on over on Casey's side, who Chris is playing against tonight?
Yeah, he had to mulligan as well. Didn't have his right colors. I believe he's on blue-green splashing red, and currently only on 2 lands, but has a lot of early play. So if he can find some lands, then he'll be just fine shape.
Yeah, so this Guild Mage has a lot of words on it, but it's a lot of time and a lot of mana just to maybe get a counter on something.
That's been my experience as well.
Yeah, like I have it in my deck, and the games where I had time to activate it were games I was losing.
Yeah, I feel like it's either a win more or lose more
Right.
card.
Um, so Chris is stuck a bit on lands. He does have two four drops and a five in his hand. He has a summary judgment also, which is a removal, and his draw here was a Narset, which is won't help him find lands, but maybe will help him find something that finds lands. And nothing to see here, just three creatures in a land.
Yeah, that's Casey's got 3 lands as well, but 2 copies. We're gonna see one, I think, here of Applied Biomancy, just a nice little trick and bounce card, looking like it's gonna be used here to clear the Narset.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes enough sense. I mean, he could have. I guess no, that wouldn't work. Yeah, he couldn't have. He couldn't have destroyed the Narset and killed the Passwell Adept with the Biomance. So yeah, that would not have worked. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
okay. He does have the fourth land here because like his hand looked pretty functional, but the missing the fourth land wasn't great. So now he's got the choice of which 4 mana 2/3 flyer he plays, and he's chosen the Sun Thunder Drake. The other
yep.
one,
Casey finds a fourth land as well.
yeah,
It is a tap land, but looking like the second copy of Applied Biomancy is getting run out here, just for some tempo.
yeah. I don't know what the plan is after this. I'm playing Simic as I mentioned earlier. I have three of these applied biomancy in my deck. I don't know when I'm supposed to just do this, do that with it, like as
Yeah,
opposed
I'm
to
playing Simic as
the other
well, and
things.
they're pretty effective as a nice little combat trick from what I've found.
Yeah, I found that my deck is not so much into like attacking when my opponent can block. It's more like flying and card
Yeah,
draw and maybe use the bounce to get stuff out of the way. Like it's kind of just an unsummon. Like the +1/+1 is has not been coming up very much, but when it
yep.
does, it's really nice.
Casey finds a quasi duplicate here.
Yeah, this is not the most incredible use out of it, but I mean, the flying is good, and
Yeah,
Chris is just sort of quietly taking some lumps here at his at 11 thanks to the tempo plays. Yeah, none of the plays are that
yeah.
good because he has the Thunder Drake, but he doesn't have a follow up to grow it. So he
Mm.
he can play a couple things, but he can't block the Aeromunculus with his two
Yeah,
three
Casey
flyers.
also has a Thrash Threat in his hand, which
So
is
that's a good card.
requires red mana.
I
Um,
believe that the fight side, or it's just like a bite for green green. You can cast it for green green.
oh yes, that is hybrid, so he could
Yeah,
cast that
I
as
believe it's
well.
just a rabid bite effectively, and then the other half is make a 4/4 for four. I mean, you usually wanted to use the removal side of it, but sometimes you played a four
Yeah,
four. Yeah, I mean, Chris just sort of he said, I can't block the flyers, so I'm not even going to pretend to try and play flyers. I don't know if that is the right necessarily the right call. Because he
yeah,
could have played
looking
his
like
Thunder
he's
Drake and then
gonna.
tried to grow it the turn after and maybe block one of
I
them.
think Casey's thinking about activating Combine and then I think jump starting the quasi duplicate to get another flyer. This one will be a 3/4 flyer,
Okay. Um, sure.
pitching a Spellkeeper weird.
Yeah, I guess don't need that. Yeah, so of note, that one won't be able to mutate or adapt. Sorry,
Yep.
because adapt says it will only work if the creature does not have a counter. It doesn't care how it got the counter, but I don't think Casey really minds. He's just trying to Trying to do an air assault here, and it's gonna work, I think.
I mean, currently lethal damage in the air, and he has this thrash in hand as well for a
Okay,
little bit of
so in
interaction.
that case, so in that case, Chris should probably play his other flyer, which is the Syndicate Messenger, because when that dies, it makes a 1/1 flying token, so he's not just dead to a removal here. Because at least with the Syndicate Messenger, he gets a blocker. Here's a red source, but I don't think that's the.
Yeah, he's running out the thrash pretty
Anything.
immediately here.
Yeah, okay.
That
Yeah,
should
just a
do
bit
it.
of a stumble there, and then just not having the right interaction. And he's had the summary judgment for most of the game, and I mean, he just, he just didn't fire it off at certain points. I mean, he probably could have to slow down the clock, but
Yeah, those biomancies actually did a pretty good job of helping to push through damage and ultimately like get that lethal attack through.
yeah, it's knowing when to use that to just bounce something to just get damage, because like just to bounce a creature, it's not even a 1-for-1. It's like worse than a 1-for-1 because you're
Yeah.
down a card and your opponent gets to play their card again.
Yeah, if you
So
can't take advantage of that bounce in some way, then
yeah,
it's not really.
so mastering the ability to know when it's correct to run it out uh, is something that's it's pretty hard. Like even I just look at it, it's like I don't want to use it just to bounce. Just what am I getting? 4 damage, 5 damage. My opponent's at 18. Is that worth it? I mean, sometimes it is. Depends on the texture of your hand. It's a hard
Yeah.
skill, I would say, to know when to just run it out just for that. Like you want to get your opponent right. Like they try
Yeah,
and use a
but that was
combat
a.
trick or whatever, and you bounce it, and now they wasted a bunch
Mhm.
of mana. Anyway, um,
Yeah, that was a clean game by Casey. That I mean, I think used most, if not all, of his mana every turn. Was able to just tempo and develop flyers and have the right interaction at the right times.
yeah. So we got a rare sight here, and just a 2-color deck. He's no splashes.
Oh,
He's avoided all the temptation that splashing brings. It's
Casey
also perhaps
is
he doesn't
definitely
have
on a red
anything to
splash.
splash. That's also a possibility. Did you get a look at what he
Yep.
was splashing there?
Yeah, he's splashing a couple of interaction spells, that Thrash and Threat, as well
Right.
as a
Okay.
Savage Smash, sorry, and then just some, I think some 4 and 5 drop Gruul creatures. I think maybe, I don't know,
Okay.
potentially lacked some creature depth in that area,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Just
but
trying to put the best deck together, and I guess his Simic deck needed. In theory, unless you're splashing like crazy bombs, your splashes should be addressing problems or things that are missing in your deck
yep.
if they can. Um,
Interesting play here. Casey kept a one-lander and elected to find a mountain over an island. He does have Savage Smash and Frenzied Errinx in hand. Besides that, the rest of his hand is double blue and double
yeah,
green cards.
I mean,
So
if you keep it open the gates, you're keeping a 2-lander. So,
yeah,
I think if his hand did not have open the gates, you're not keeping a 1-land hand. Um,
yep.
so in hand here for
Doesn't find the
Chris,
third land.
so I guess there's just nothing to cast over there.
Yeah, his hand is.
Yeah.
He has
So
a quench, but no blue
So it's
source.
funny, we got a couple of rare tutus for 2, and they basically don't have very much text on them. Lavinia has almost no text, and Growth Chamber Guardian says pay 3 mana to get counter on it, which is, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
But I mean, maybe he has a second one, but I would be surprised. And now
we'll
this
never
game
know.
is going to turn into a control wall of interaction here. From Chris, he has a
Yeah,
counter spell, he has a
Casey.
bounce spell. This is exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah, Casey a little stuck on lands and still has no blue source, so most of his hand is pretty uncastable right now.
So do you know the text box on Lavinia Azorius Renegade? Does anybody?
No, I could not tell you if I tried.
One of it says if an opponent casts a spell and no mana was spent to cast it, counter it.
Right.
I don't know what the other one
Well,
does.
Casey does have Pact of
It
Negation in
has
his
two
hand, so
abilities, none of which are doing much. Oh, here's a kitty cat, but I guess that's one of the splash cards.
yeah, that counter was pretty brutal. Casey just gonna scoop it up.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a hand where you're locked out of a color,
Hmm.
especially a main color.
Yeah, I was very. I don't know. I thought it was interesting that he chose to find the mountain. I guess maybe wanting to have the Savage Smash available. But
Yeah,
he
well,
had a lot of blue creatures.
It's the idea of I'm way more likely to draw an island because I have way more sources of blue.
That's true.
Therefore, and if he had the two red cards in hand, it's like he's so unlikely to just top deck a red, but he's much more likely to top deck the blue. It's tough there either way, but we saw Chris's deck sort of just. I think Chris would have been okay versus a lot of normal draws from Andrew or Casey, and that was just
Yeah.
a poor draw from him. So each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value higher than the amount of lands they control. That's the other text on the video, I think.
Would you be able to
Words.
get that in the card art game?
Lavinia Zorius Renegade. Yeah, I would recognize that text as just so ridiculously useless for limited.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I think it was meant for like modern sideboard question mark. Anyway, what's going on for Casey there? Looks like he mulliganed.
Yeah, Mulligan up a one lander. Has all his colors, but this Combine Guildmage is currently the only creature he has in his hand. He's holding
Okay.
up a Growth Spiral, a Savage Smash, and a Capture Sphere. So good interaction and good cycling, but
Okay.
not a bad hand.
Yeah, we get just a bunch of playable cards here from Chris. His curve seems to be pretty low. He's got a Pass Wall Adept, Thunder Drake, Arrester's Admonition, Essence Capture, and Skyline Scout. So and he's got an island. So he with that island, he'll be able to have to cast 4 of the 5 cards in his hand. So he'll be playing spells for the next many turns. We'll say.
Casey was thinking about going Mountain Savage Smash, but I think is just going to hold the Growth Spiral up here.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think you want to use your Savage Smash to take care of something you're actually concerned about. And despite this being a rare 2-drop creature with like two paragraphs of rules text, it's just not. It's a vanilla creature for our purposes.
Rarely comes up in limited Magic.
Yeah.
Oof, a nice top deck from Casey. A
I mean,
Precognitive Perception.
even in limited, there's not many ways to get to have the things that it's asking for happen. Well, this is a nice refill of the hand here.
Yep, pretty nice. He bottom 2 islands and keeps 1 Applied Biomancy and finds an Ugin's Conjure and
Okay.
a Zagana, so he's got plenty of fuel now.
Yeah, so I think Chris is pretty happy with his last 2 draws. It was 2 lands. That means he'll be able to uh, cast all the spells in his hand within the next few turns. None of the cards in his hand are like super great, but they're all fine. Like Thunder Drake is fine. Rester's Admonition is good.
Yeah.
Essence captures the counter spell. Passwell Adept is the 2-drop. That card is usually medium, but card filler. But she's gonna leave up the Essence capture here, which is it counters a creature spell, and then you get a +1 counter. So instead of Essence Scatter, you have to play blue mana instead, but you get a +1 counter.
Yeah, I mean, if Casey decides to run out either Zagana or Ugin's Conjuring here, it's going to be a pretty nice counterspell.
Right? Yeah, for sure. As long as it's a creature. But
Yep. And it looks like he might just Ugin's for 5 here, so this will be a pretty nice Essence Capture.
oh, the Conjurer? Yeah.
Yep. Probably running it out first to try to get the trigger off Zagana to draw a card.
I'm almost. If I'm crazy, I'm almost tempted to let it resolve and just bounce it, but it's also fine. Yeah, so he's just sort of enacting his game plan here, which is countering, bouncing. He has the bounce spell in his hand and some evasion.
Yep, Casey going to play Zagana here, and he'll be holding up Applied Biomancy for his own bounce as well as a little pump if it's relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris, he has a flyer here. He has Passwell Adept, which can give something unblockable. So he's got a little bit of a clock if Casey's not interacting, but it sounds like he will be interacting at some point.
Yeah, still holding that Savage Smash and Capture Sphere from earlier.
Yeah, that'll do it. Fortunately, Chris has a little bit of card draw in his hand. He has the Admonition, which draws a card, and also Azorius Locket. So,
Huh.
and off the top is a bladed structure, which is just a 3/1 with Mentor.
Yeah, Casey now has a Watcher in the Mist as well, so
That's a good
another,
one. That's a good one too.
yeah, pretty good card.
Yeah, I will say I'm getting like good feels from like just playing with these cards again.
Yeah, War of the Spark was one of my first sets back into Magic
Yeah,
after like a 2-year break, so very fond memories of drafting and playing that set a lot.
yeah. War of the Spark is in my top 5 favorite sets for limited. I really liked it. I know
It's
it
a
was a
great
bit
set.
polarizing at the time, but I like the big swing. I like when they take big swings, and that was like one of the biggest swings they ever did.
Yeah.
It wasn't a perfect set. Absolutely will say that, but I would draft it again in a heartbeat.
And no set's perfect.
Yeah.
So Casey here drew a growth spiral, gonna run out the growth spiral, finds an island.
Yeah. So unless you have a counter on it, the Zagana is a. This does come down as basically a vanilla until you adapt it.
Yep. His Surveil finds his second applied Biomancy, and he puts a land in the graveyard. So now, once he draws that Biomancy next turn, he'll have 3 pieces of interaction.
Yeah, the only interaction here is a bounce spell, which is the Arrester's Admonition. He's got the Thunderdrake, and he's got a freshly drawn Kasmina, so that's a pretty strong Planeswalker. Not amazing on this board, but normally pretty impactful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the path is here, because even if he Arrester's Admonition, it doesn't give him attacks, so...
Yeah, interesting. Because he can't double spell for the Drake.
I guess what he could do is he could give the 3/1 unblockable. I mean, that's a thing he can do. I'd say it's a good thing. It's a thing. He did draw a land here, which allows him to cast his Thunder Drake.
Okay.
Looks like he's just going to do this instead. Okay. Says, you know what? Let me get him for some damage. He also gets to put a counter on the 2/4 here. Yeah. So
That's pretty solid.
It's a free block, but he gets a counter on it. So good enough.
Yeah, 3/5 on the ground also is a great blocker against Sagana, obviously before it gets any
him.
counters on it. Yeah. So now Casey's probably going to run out some interaction here. It looks like the Savage Smash is the choice to fight the Pass Wall Adept.
I like bouncing the Pass Wall Adept, but just because when it comes back down, it's not very useful. But I guess the ability is starting to be slightly threatening.
Yeah, I mean it's a 3-turn clock with the Mentor creature, which I guess Casey is concerned about.
I mean, he can activate like it's not a tap ability, so it can be activated multiple times a turn. So it's actually a quicker clock than just just that. Interestingly, Interesting. He wants to play the land. I guess the Kasmina is just going to come out and look pretty. I mean, do you even -2 here?
Apparently you do.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, it makes it 2/2. That's good, but it's like if he draws a land next turn, it's so sad. I guess the Kasmina's dying anyway if Casey wants it to. So.
Yeah. Can bounce the Thunder Drake and get him with the Watcher.
But of note, Kasmina does give basically your permanents like Ward 2, I believe, basically. Like all the spells that target it cost 2 more, if I recall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not exactly a ward, but for casting spells, close enough.
Yeah, so Casey drew a Skatewing Spy, so another decent creature.
Yeah, that one is a flyer eventually.
Yep.
And that gives flying to anything with a counter on it as well.
Yeah, it can turn Zagana into a pretty beefy attacker.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Casey does have to make sure of his own life total before he starts making big attacks here, but...
Yeah, so he's thinking about he had Capture Sphere and Applied Biomancy hover under the Drake, but it's just thinking about if it's worth the mana investment considering that everything is costing 2 more.
Yeah, it's an annoying effect. I do remember it took a while to get used to the planeswalkers with the static abilities.
Yep.
Like you'd be playing on arena and then like you do your thing and your card doesn't work the way it's supposed to because of one of the statics, and all you see is like a red flashing outline around the planeswalker saying like, yeah, I did this. Like I'm the one who made you not gain life or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Narset not draw a card.
Well, that one was brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just funny that it would just flash red outline. Like, yeah, it's me. I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, we got a capture sphere here, but no, does not have the land to cast it, and he's drawn Martyr for the cause. It's just
Mm.
a 2/2 for 2. You proliferate when it dies, so not of great consequence here either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Chris can put on enough pressure, because he's on the life gain advantage, but Casey certainly has the bigger creatures on board.
Yeah, he has more cards in hand. He does have bigger creatures, even though Chris has more, but Casey's life total is not low enough that Chris can start trying to throw away creatures to get in damage.
Yeah. Especially this Skatewing Spy is going to come down, and Casey's last card is the second Applied Biomancy, so...
I mean, honestly, I think I just put 4 counters on Zagan and attack. I believe it's 4 to adapt.
I think it's 6 to adapt,
Oh,
if
is
I
it 6?
remember.
Okay, then I
Yeah.
would not put
But he's
that
going to
because this
Applied
is a
Biomancy, I think, just basically killing the token and getting in for 4 in the air.
yeah. I think you realize I do need to start attacking at some point, and a planes here is
Yep.
not going to do the trick. The capture sphere is going to lock down whatever the biggest thing ends up being, which is likely Zagana.
Likely Zagana.
Like honestly, I look at Zagana and it was like a good rare back in the day. You could almost print this card at uncommon today, I think. Almost.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
not
especially...
quite. You'd have to power down, either make it cost a little
Especially
bit more, or give
because
it less power toughness. But
if
like
you...
you could put that text box on an uncommon, honestly.
Yeah, especially because if you don't have that creature with a counter already, then it just comes down as a 4/4 for 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those cards that like has a high ceiling, but the floor is just like a 4-mana 4/4, which used to be like an okay floor, but in 2026 wouldn't be. But right now in this league, we're not playing 2026 level cards. So
Yeah. Casey just finding a land here, so just going to hold back behind the Watcher of the Mist.
all right, well we got a stare down of people with a bunch of lands. I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, it is 6 to adapt. Okay. Yes, I thought it was 4 to adapt. So okay, here's a threat.
It's a pretty good one, too.
I love the funny combination of abilities. Like vigilance can't be blocked. It's funny.
Yeah. Casey finds an Homunculus here.
The air homunculus, yeah. Okay. I mean, the Night Arbiter is just a 3-turn clock if there's nothing going on.
Yeah. I mean, and Casey can't really pressure with his flyers just because the 2 other ground creatures that Chris has will just chip in for the final points of damage.
Another land here, so Casey does maybe get slight breathing room here to try and find something, but it's just answer the 2/5. That's the whole game here. And
Yep.
he has
Well,
two draws to find something.
found a bounce.
Okay, it's yeah, you do what you gotta do.
Yep. Bounce into a second air Homunculus.
Okay, I mean, I guess he can start attacking with one of them now. Not so he's at least giving himself a decent clock if he can find a removal. If not, it's now the flying clock is pretty nice. Oh, okay. This is okay. So with his 11 mana, he can cast both his 5-drop and the 6-drop he just drew. And this card's very irritating. This Sky Guard here, opponent's creatures get -1 power.
Oh yeah, that's a great draw. I
You
mean,
know,
basically shuts down all the flyers.
like the first time that I saw an effect like this, I think it was in like Battle for Zendikar. It was just like a blue enchantment, an uncommon that's it just said creatures your opponents can draw -1/-1. Look at it, I'm like 4 mana, really? Then when you play with it, it's way better than it reads.
Yeah, it just changes so much combat math.
All the Homunculuses here.
Yep,
So
we've had two. Here's the third.
yeah, I mean,
It can't really attack.
yeah, I think like it's easy for any person who has never seen that effect to underestimate it because it doesn't read powerful, but when it's in play, it's so irritating.
Yeah, and
Like
Casey finds
like
a
it's
quasi duplicate off the top.
it's literally the difference here between Casey being able to maybe try and race the unblockable before he
So you
dies
can
or finds removal. But here it's just off
you
the
can
table with the
duplicate the
-1
Zagana to draw one other card.
power. Yeah, that works. That is one way to draw a card, yeah. But this is his last go at it, I think. I guess he could quasi
Yep,
duplicate
he
one
found a
more
land, so
time.
he's gonna do it again, pitching the
All
land.
right, I mean, just fight right until the end. I guess we didn't mention the records. Neither player's up for elimination though. So Casey's was 4-4 and Chris was 4-3. So they're in the middle of the pack, looking to make a push, at least end the week on a high note and make a push in week 3. Right,
Yeah,
well, he says,
Casey
"I'm gonna attack
finds.
you," but
I mean, finds a little combat trick here. A Stony Strength gonna come out, which is untaps the
sure,
creature,
yeah. I mean,
but
cool, but
unblockable is
not quite
unblockable.
good enough. Yeah, that
Yeah,
Skyguard really. I mean, the Night Arbiter did the work, but the Skyguard really made sure that Casey had fewer options here. So congratulations to Chris on the win. 2-color deck, which again a rare sight here in Ravnica. So congratulations and thanks for watching.